I'm gonna try this and see if it turns into anything, but I'm here at my house, my beautiful house in Arkansas on a spring day. My little side lot, some awesome trees. We've been talking about Ross Byrd's Parish Manifesto and had a conversation with Ross about a year ago about it, and it really was one of those things that went deep mimetically for me. And in ways like reading Zoomer, in ways like Jordan Peterson stuff, things that have been deeply powerful mimetic ideas. And so I'm going to make a little video about my hopes for Parish Manifesto, which is parish, steeples, priests, and peoples. And so this is, we'll first take a look at the parish. Okay, so I am pulling out of my driveway, and if you can hear my squeaky brakes, we're gonna drive to the church, to the parish, right? So one of the ideas is that Ross puts forward with the parish is that it's localized, it's regionalized, it's a neighborhood. So I'm in a neighborhood here, a little cul-de-sac that kind of is attached to another neighborhood. And so we're just gonna give a little example of how close I'm living to this church building.
Please fasten driver's seatbelt.
Thank you. Siri car thing. So, yeah, but parishes are localized. One thing that I think about in the world that we live in is, hold on, took a phone call. I stopped in a parking lot so that it would still be like real timing getting to the quote-unquote parish. So proximity, parish is proximity. It's localized, regionalized neighborhood in the village. One of the things that I've thought about is strategy, mission, strategy, reaching people, evangelism, all these church words. And we kind of, that has actually been, what's the word? Abstracted from, so there's a church right here, Grace, little tiny Grace Baptist Church right here, little tiny. And I'm driving through a neighborhood. I don't know if you can see, but it's actually, this area is kind of poor, lower economic part of town in this little region. Pardon me, man, I'm clogged up today. But so here I can see actually the steeple from the Presbyterian College in our town as we're driving up on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but you can see it poking through the clouds. It's straight ahead. But kind of entering the college campus here. It's a baseball field to my right. It's embedded in this little neighborhood. It's a little liberal arts Presbyterian college. And yeah, so we're gonna come up on this chapel at, here, for, you can see the steeple. Now that's not where we're having church, which is just down the road from here. But, the ideas of parishes, like in a little region, there's little pockets, little neighborhoods in your village, in your town, in your city, where churches are, or a church was. And so, and then they would minister to that area. That was the mission. And so that was the evangelism, was around the actual church. And it's been abstracted with technology to be, let's just get people from wherever, in cars and all that kind of stuff, make that all different. And I was just wondering, so now we're coming up on my church building here, I think, yeah. And it is tucked away behind these trees, right here. I don't know what you can see. Yeah, that's it. This is it. It's a little church building. And so like that was a 5-minute drive maybe, I don't know. And from here there are, so there's that college, and then we're gonna, yeah, I'm gonna turn around. Here. Oh, car's coming. Peeling out, it's wet. Just down this block here, right next to my church, which is right out there, I can see now Calvary Baptist Church, straight ahead. You can see the brown brick of it right here with the little basketball goal. Okay. And if I look to, if I take a left here, I think, to double check, we're gonna, well, there's one of the old schools called Central Elementary School. Yeah, right here. Okay, there's 2 churches. There's this Missionary Baptist Church right here. Okay, little Missionary Baptist Church, 20th Street. And then turning. A couple of blocks here is First Assembly of God, Charismatic. So this is First Assembly right here. Okay. And just down this road, circle back, the Baptist church was just up here. And then there was an elementary school. It's like a pre-K, like what do they call it, Head Start type place. Yeah, so here's Calvary, old church. And I think just up here to the left is, yeah, I think that's an old Methodist church that's now been repossessed, I guess you could say. I think it's the street. Maybe it's not. Yeah, this is it. It's like now a Hispanic congregation, and I don't know if it's still Methodist. But this little church here, Centro Cristiano. Yeah, so all of that's like 5-6 block radius in this parish, and what's interesting is this is probably the last, I mean, it's one of the lower economic areas of our town, but it's also getting a lot of development, and it also has our local liberal arts university or college here embedded in it. So, I see steeple there. I can see from First Assembly, I saw a steeple. Calvary doesn't really have a steeple, but it's got this cool brick kind of structure. I don't know if you can see that, and then you can see my church building there, and another steeple straight ahead. That's our building. Like, you can see all these churches from like this parish. And so in my mind, parish is like, you take a dot, you write a circle around it, and then you even ask these other churches like how you can work together for the betterment, for the kingdom to come in this parish. And the evangelism is not just like digital reach and get the people, the PLMs, like Elizabeth Oldfield says, how do you just get people like me? But to get, if we're going to talk about strategy, is to care for this area in particular. So that's one. That's parish. And then steeples is like the places of worship. So we'll do this now. So place of worship, steeples, and people can know that this place is like set apart for the worship of God and the life of the church, and for sacred things that happen here. I don't even have my key, so I can't go in. I may have to, if I'm going to really do this, I should go home and get my key. But this is a place of worship and of communion and of community and of sacred things, tradition, of a place of peace, a place of refuge, sanctuary, and that a place with steeples, people can come for prayer, people can come for care. And Ross talks about the doors being open, and I don't know how pragmatic, but that there are times the office is open for prayer, and could we create a hospitable place for people to come and pray, things like that, to be cared for, other than just our programs. So that's steeples, and I'll go get the key and we'll do part 2 proper. Okay, I'm back. So we said parish, steeples, and so we're still on steeples, which we're having to get this steeple repaired. Well, that was one of the things. We're not actually going to be paying rent. You'll be able to see it. It's open to the elements up there. And so one of the agreements was there's some maintenance that needs to be taken care of. So we're going to help take care of the maintenance for the building and not pay rent. So, all right. I'm going to change to a different angle. So I already shared this on Twitter, but so you walk in, and this is in the steeple. This is what the steeple invites you to: a place of worship, a place of gathering, a place of sanctuary, a place of reverence, of quiet, a place of holy things, so we are a Presbyterian church, and it's a giant organ. Sounds awesome. It's got some cherubims up there proclaiming, pronouncing. And so, steeple, you invite people to gather at a place. And people can find it from the steeple. People can recognize it. They can see something they're invited to in the parish. It's a centering, it's a gathering around, it's a intersection between the transcendent and the immanent. I don't know if I got the words right in my metaphysics, but that's what can happen here, and where heaven meets earth. And so In this tradition, we're going to move on to priests. So the first time I went and stood up here, I can tell you what my very first thought was. Now, I'm not the pastor of this church, so this is just a perspective, my personal perspective, but when I stood up here and I looked at these pews from this position, I saw what I thought was flock. And maybe it's all the white. I thought shepherd. And a shepherd doesn't just point the sheep where to go. He fights off the wolves. He tends to the wounds. He nurses the sick and the babies. And so the priest, or in our tradition, the presbyters, the elders, share in that responsibility. And this is the flock that you oversee on top of the hill. It's not just the spot where the word is proclaimed, it's where the shepherd can see the people. He can look and he can know the stories and the struggles and the joys and the pains. He knows those, he sees the grandkids and the grandparents. He sees the newly married. He sees the teenagers of angst, the young children. That is what a shepherd sees, is the whole flock. And he cares for the flock. He protects the flock. He feeds the flock. He cares for the flock. That's the priest. That's the father, the priestly role. And he also is a type of mediator, whether it's in the word and sacrament, you're mediating the word from on high. You're administering the sacraments. You're proclaiming the gospel. The priest. This is my little enclave over here with our mess in the corner. Join in with voices raised. This is my perspective on a Sunday. So then, priests, presbyters, and what about the people? The people. It's parish, steeple, priest, people. In my tradition, there's a theology, there's covenant theology, but there's also the covenant family. There's like fractals of it, because then there's the covenantal theology, and then baptism is part of sacramental part of the covenant, but then you're also brought into the covenant family. And the idea of the parish life, of the Christian life, of the liturgical life, of embedding yourself in a community, in covenant. And it's much more like a marriage. And we don't view it this way. We view it so much as about programs and offering consumables for people to come and consume and then leave and keep their life convenient. But marriage is not always convenient. Family is not always convenient. It requires sacrifice. It requires time, commitment. It requires grace and admitting when you were wrong. And that's what I look forward to continuing to cultivate from our home church community into a parish life community in our church, Christ the Redeemer Presbyterian Church. And I look forward to trying to use this influence of Ross Byrd's Parish Manifesto as a frame for how I think about evangelism, how I think about possible eldership maybe someday, how I think about like where I live, and then the people, and then who we're trying to reach, and the people that enter into that covenant relationship and that sacramental family and that sacramental life together. That is my hope, to be able to continue to encourage that as a part of the framework, as a piece, as an element of the shift from the machine from machine to creature, from machine to this manifesto. So thank you, Ross. And I look forward to more engagement and conversations with everybody about these things, and with my church and with the corner. So everyone have a great day. Go to church.